Well, है ना? No problem there.
Yeah.
Sure. हाँ. नहीं यार, ये सब मत करो, अभी रहने दो. मैं सेटिंग वो नहीं किया हूँ, तो मत छेड़ो अभी प्रेजेंटेशन को. Cool. So, sure, let's get started. Divyansh, admit the people who are in the waiting room, right?
हाँ जी, मैं कर रहा हूँ साथ साथ में, लाइक अभी तो
Sure,
हो
sure,
गया.
sure, 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 sure. Hi. Welcome to Masterclass on Notion. And before that, जो भी Canva में थे वो वापस से सुनो पेलू क्लब की स्टोरी, and then we'll start Notion के Masterclass. So very quickly, something about Pelu Club, or like everything about Pelu Club, क्योंकि everything में ही something ही है अभी वो. So Pelu Club is an initiative completely to provide complete free of cost mentoring and learning opportunities to anyone, everyone needed. In Pelu Club, there will be many circles as we have seen. There will be some mentors as you have seen. We'll open the stage for mentors as well during next few months. Like when we'll figure out things how it is run, then we'll open the stage for that as well. So basically, the plan in Pelu Club is to take some great mentors, right, and let them do what they feel is right for their learning circle to flourish. Uh, Barring some ground rules like not charging anything from the learners, making keeping it completely free, keeping it completely open, keeping all the things publicly available, etc. Barring those rules, a mentor can take all the decision of his circle, right? So this circle, I'm the mentor, so I'll be taking all the decisions here. And yeah, that's all about Pelu Club in a nutshell. We are still reinventing, redeveloping, learning, unlearning, relearning, etc. So as and when things comes out, you will get informed about that initiative. काफी शॉर्ट में वाले कैनवा वाले में काफी लंबे बताया था. Anyways, this is all you need to know about Pelu Club. So here in masterclass of Notion, all right. So in this like this is day 0 and day 1 combined. Day 0 was supposed to be yesterday, but I missed the deadline, so it's combined here. And these type of things will happen, so be prepared for it. No, it will not be a smooth ride, but it will be a memorable and rewarding ride. So the day 0 is this part. So in this we will talk things about how to get started here, talk something about myself, how Pelu Club works, and what can you expect from this masterclass. Getting started, you can navigate the syllabus in the website. Links are already provided in the email, and it will be put in the Discord as well. So roam around in the Discord. Discord has many channels and sections, etc., where you will find things happening from time to time. Most of the announcements will be there in the announcement section. So you need to focus on that, and rest of the thing you can explore there. Things are still currently building there. Explore the social media. I have planned that all the all the content related to learning and all the content generated by assignments, etc., will be shared on the social media platforms. So you can explore the social media for where things are heading, and the announcements there also, which are public announcements. So yeah, you can get started here. uh, like the link to the website, like the link has the scaffolding view in the website. So if you're not seeing any like a detailed view, you can just click on the scaffold button, and it will open up the complete list from day 0 from day 1 to day 7, and all the things, all the activities planned there. Cool. That's it about getting started. About me, so I call myself a pretty lazy person. I am lazy, but in the same time, I try to keep myself productive, and for that I use many tools. And in this masterclass series, or in general in my learning circles, I'm trying to give you the understanding of how to get those things done, and even better. So, and I love to tinker. Like मुझे टिंकरिंग का बहुत ज्यादा शौक है। लेकिन मैं रात में 2 बजे उठ करके, अगर मतलब एक सपना आता है तो मैं टिंकर करने लगता हूँ कुछ, और सपना मुझे आ जाता है ऐसा। लाइक some days back, I dreamt about, like I was searching, I was wholly involved in Web3 cryptocurrencies and Web3 applications, etc. And there is a no-code tool which helps you build Web3 application. So like मैं रात में 2 बजे जग कर वो करने लगा, and I love that. Like I enjoy tinkering, and that's why like I feel that I can take these kind of tools oriented courses, right? And I love to help, so you can reach me out in any social media platform. mm, like I might be late, but I'll reply. How does this work, this uh like complete masterclass and all the circles work? Just a minute, 1 second. Desktop. Cool. So yes, how does this work? So this every circle, almost every circle, and this circle especially in will be divided in two kind of learners. uh, One I have termed passive learners, and the other I have termed active learners. Passive learners are the one who are auditing the courses. They will not be punished for auditing this course. In fact, they can do the courses in their uh, convenient timings, but there are some benefits which will be only be provided to active learners. uh, those benefits includes evaluation of their assignments, getting certifications, and if there are any initiatives which are being planned, only the active learners will be involved in those kind of initiatives. But passive learners will get all the benefits which are currently happening or being planned in this Pelu Club circle, especially this circle, right? So like this recording as well as all the other recordings will be shared publicly. All the assignments will be shared publicly. All the content will be shared publicly. All the submissions of the assignments will be shared publicly. Everything will be public here, right? And those things will be neatly arranged in a dashboard, which will be again publicly shared, so that you can uh, you can check that out whenever you like. uh, if you are an active learner, let's say if you are active for day one and then you become passive on day two, you become passive for the entire course. You will not be getting any benefit. So that's the catch here. You have to be active for the complete 7 days. Then only you can call yourself an active learner and get the benefits there. All right. That being said, let's move on to the next slide. The learning methodology. So all these sessions will be very short, but it will be very detailed, talking about a specific concept or a story or something which will be valuable for you in using this tool. In this case, Notion, right? It will be completely async for passive. Like all the things will be online. He can audit, or he or she can audit it at his convenient time. And since like abhi to cohort chota hai, but when the cohort will be large enough, then we will shift to community mentoring, and we will experiment with community mentoring here itself. So think of community mentoring as like like a classroom without teachers, in which there is a certain rule which is being followed, and everyone does the assignment and share their assignments with others, and it gets reevaluated, and leadership board is built up where they can rank themselves, etc. So that kind of environment is trying to be implemented in Discord. So that is one of the reason why I'm stressing so much for you to join Discord, right? So that is the learning methodology in a nutshell, which I'm trying to follow. There are some other elements to it as well, which will be discussed in, maybe we can discuss it later if you want. What to expect from this masterclass? Apart from immersive learning experience which you will be having, um, what I think is that tools specifically are something which is best learned when played with. So there will be an element of active doing things. Someone is on unmute. Let me check. Like, please mute yourself. Uh, so there is a huge element of doing things involved here. So in every session, or let's say every day, you will be getting a very small assignment, very small assignment, which you are required to perform and submit. And by that, you will be having you will be having an immersive experience on how to use the tool, how to get started with it, how to build complex systems with it, etc. As the stage advances. So that is something you can expect here. And all the things which you are doing with Notion, my personal goal is that it should be used for your personal development, either profile development, either build your own website, manage your own workflows, etc., or your portfolio enhancement. By that I mean, like, if you're not doing for it for yourself, you're doing some kind of project. That project should be uh, of a very standard level, which you can display it in your portfolio. By portfolio I mean CV, if you would like to say that. Yeah. So you can expect that those kind of projects will be done here in this 7 week itself, and opening the doors to various opportunities. By this I mean that, like, by learning the tool of Notion, you will acquire the skill of, you know us, like, management and organizing things, which, if tuned with other skills which you already possess, then you can, enhance your uh, opportunities further. For example, if you are like, if your dream is to become an social media influencer, and if you use Notion to organize your content, you can take your social media game a great upgrade to your social media game. Or if there are any other skill, let's say you are a very good singer, right? And you want to build something out of it, then organizing those things with Notion will help you reach your goal faster, right? So there are many other opportunities, like you can even do consulting in Notion if you become an expert there, etc. You can take a masterclass on Notion in your own way. So there are many opportunities which you can do when you learn the tool. So these are the things you can expect. And this was day zero. We do not have any end line here. Like, it was supposed to be a 30-minute session, but I have kept Canva in the 30 minutes bracket. But Notion, there is no end time there. We can stay for longer if you want. I'll try to wrap it up in 40 minutes max. But if you have any question, we can discuss, because Canva is a complex tool. So we can give some time here. Right. So that was day zero, which was supposed to be yesterday, but it is what it is. So welcome to day one of Masterclass on Notion. It's off here, so I'll correct it. And previous tips: registered at Pelu Club. There is a new registration form being floated there to track who have registered for Notion classes. Uh, Fill that form. It was not the previous form; it is the new form. You can fill it in 2-3 days and watch the orientation. You have already watched that live. Join the Discord if you have not. Note taking essentials. Let us talk about note taking essentials. It is a very one of my favorite topics, because I'm really into note taking and productivity, etc. So there are basically two kinds of philosophies of note taking. One is, like, both of them are old, but one of them is being practiced rapidly today. That is the gardener way of note taking. And the other one is librarian way of note taking, which we already do. So what is librarian way of note taking? Librarian way of note taking is what we have already done in our academic stints, in our academic journey. We distributed the notes to every subject. We specified the headings and we then took the notes, right? That is the librarian way of taking notes. But our brain does not work like that. If you think about human cognitive system, how does that work? We think about an idea. We do not organize idea in that manner. We organize idea in nodes and graphs. And let's say I associate, let's say, Pelu Club, right? So Pelu Club is saved in one of the nodes, and connected to that nodes are various other elements, and each element acts as a nodes, and that mesh of nodes is saved in our brain. It works something like that. So Gardner way of taking notes leverage on this philosophy, and it actually takes note in this manner. It was originally done by Zettelkasten, and you can search about Zettelkasten. There are tons of video in YouTube. Especially when Notion came up, everyone started taking Zettelkasten notes. So Zettelkasten notes is nothing, very simple approach to note taking, in which a specific concept, a specific topic is written in one card. That card is called Zettel in German. So एक कार्ड में वो notes रहेगा, right? In one card there will be that note. The notes heading will be put in a phrase. For example, like note taking method is best when used by Zettelkasten. This is a phrase or a sentence. It is the notes heading, and then you explain it there. That is one card, and behind that card you put numbers there. In modern world, it is called hyperlinks, which we see in website. Zettelkasten was maybe 1800 thinker. So he was a psychologist actually. So he used hash like numbering system for his notes, which act as hyperlinks that time. And he arranged those notes in his drawer, right? And what he used to do is he used to take out those notes card, right? And then he placed them on table, and then he linked those notes if they are linkable. And then at the back of the notes he also wrote कि ये note किस किस और चीजों से linked है. So that acted like a very great mesh of notes, which resembles how our brain actually works, right? And he was a very successful in his career. He published several tons of paper, and he revealed his secret later of his note taking setup. When the modern software developed, this was one of the projects which came out. And currently there are many softwares which uses this technique of note taking. One of them is Notion, one of them is Obsidian, which I personally use. I find it best. And there are some Roam Research and etc paid alternatives as well. So that is note taking in essential, and Notion helps you do that. And there are many benefits to organizing your notes in that way. But in a database tabular manner, a librarian style of note taking can also be very helpful in certain situation. Let's say you are running a newsletter and you want to be consistent with that, and then a tabular way is good for you. But if you are doing a research or building your knowledge base, etc., then a Gardner way of note taking is actually helpful. So Notion, basically, for me, like if you want, you can do either style of note taking using Notion. But for me, librarian way of note taking works best with Notion, and I have some my reasons for it. Right. So that was about Gardner and librarian way of note taking. It was quite long, but it was interesting. You must have found that interesting. Second is power of templates for organization. And now, if I may talk it like this, like if you are trying to be productive, templating your works best. By this, you can replicate the same thing again and again. This slide is a template. I copied this template for both Masterclass for Notion and Masterclass for Canva, and I changed only a few bits, right? And that is how everything, like almost everything, works in a digital space. There are some things which are static, which does not change, and there are some things which are dynamic, which changes according to the condition. If you look at the website, any website, let's say Facebook, or if you look at a very common example, you can take any website. There are some sections which remain static, which does not change, and there are some section which remains dynamic. And you can extract that concept and implement that in your daily workflows, right? There will be some activities which you perform static throughout the day. You brush, you do all the household steps. Those things are static. But in the dynamic part, you let's say 5 to 6 p.m. of your day is dynamic. Either you can go playing there, or you can do some other activities, so that part is dynamic, right? So if like, or now templates come in the picture, and templates use this static dynamic concept to build workflows. So that dynamic concepts can be organized in a table, and these static concepts can be kept static in a website format or a page format. And when you update the table, the dynamic part will change according to what conditions you give, right? So that is what templating actually does. You can do this manually. I did this manually for this slides. There are some conditions where you would like to do it manually. There are some conditions, there are some situations where you would like to do automate things, right? For example, let's say I want to build a social media post, and there are some sentences which are static, which will be same, and there are some parts of it which will change according to what day it is, right? And I can build a system on Notion or any other tool for that matter, and then I can implement that, and that thing will be solved. So power of template for organization is that you can do multiple tasks after you have set it up at once, right? So by that you can actually perform, you can give your active time in doing productive, more meaningful things, rather than copy pasting things and organizing unnecessary stuffs, which could also be automated, right? So their power of automation comes into play. It's a very like crude way of explaining things, but it is how I understand and I function. So that is what I can pass on to you. If you have any questions, we can take that question, since we are not running late, and there is no end time. Basics of Markdown. So this I'll share the link with you. Before you start Notion or any other note taking organizing system, for that matter, you should know basics of Markdown, and it is very, very, very simple, no brainer. 15 minutes done. Basics of Markdown. H1 to H6 headings, and there are some. So like every software has their own way of implementing Markdown. In Notion, you can also use checkboxes. In Notion, you can also use embed things here and there, etc. So, but fundamentally, you should understand how Markdown works, and then you will understand all the complex elements which Notion has, and how you can leverage that according to your needs and situation, right? So I'll share the basics of Markdown link with you in the Discord server. Cool, that was it for today. Tomorrow we'll be talking about how to set up Notion, how to get started, do hello world kind of exercises, and the advanced stuff maybe later. But the day of tomorrow is planned. You can check that in the website. That was it for today. And if like the stage is open for discussion, thoda jaldi ho gaya. I'll try to keep it short and more dialogue than a monologue. But yeah, sure. I'm open to any discussion you would like in this day zero and day one content of Masterclass on Notion.
Right. So I had one question. Can I ask?
Yup.
Yeah. So, like talking about Notion. So, apart from note taking, what other utilities do you find? Like personally, because you
Okay.
can use it for productivity, but how do
Yes.
you employ?
All right. So it's a very personal question again. But like, अच्छा ये recording नहीं हुआ ना, like I can speak like ठीक है ऐसे ही रहते हैं. Like मैं personally कैसे use करता हूँ Notion को. I used to but like YouTube में Notion पागलों की तरह लोग कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, पागलों की तरह लोग Notion use कर रहे हैं. But one thing, like, or a couple of things about Notion is that one it is a paid software.
ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है.
हाँ ठीक है, रिकॉर्डिंग से मेरे पास ही रहेगा, नहीं तो हटा दूंगा इसे.
You would cut it. Okay, okay.
ठीक है भाई. तो like personal use case, I find Notion best for putting things there which you want to make it public. For personal stuff, I don't think Notion is the best tool. And for ultra personal stuff, it is not a best tool because it is a paid software. It is a like corporate which will use data, and your data will not be secure. That is my guarantee. ठीक है, आज like if you know, like सभी कंपनी 5-10 साल बाद डाउन जाती है एंड वहां पे कुछ ना कुछ लीकेज होता है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता है. ब्लॉगर, इफ यू रिमेंबर, नहीं, आई ऑल्सो डोंट रिमेंबर, ब्लॉगर एक गूगल का इनिशिएटिव था टू राइट ब्लॉग पोस्ट, राइट. इट इज मीडियम आज है, राइट. आज से 10 साल बाद मीडियम के जगह पे कोई और रहेगा, right? So you need to understand that any tool or technology which is presently outperforming or very famous, there is a huge marketing, there is a huge investment done on that front to make that technology famous. बट वहां पे हम क्लेवरली स्मार्टली लेवरेज कर सकते हैं कि जो भी नोशन के फ्री फीचर्स हैं वो हम अच्छे से बेनिफिट ले लें उसका, एंड लाइक वहां पे लाइक सेव कर ले अपने आप को जहां पे डेंजरस हो सकता है नोशन यूज करना. सो इफ यू आर टेकिंग, डोंट यूज, नेवर यूज नोशन फॉर पर्सनल स्टफ, नेवर यूज नोशन फॉर फाइनेंशियल स्टफ, बट यू कैन यूज नोशन फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या सोशल मीडिया प्लानिंग एक्सेट्रा. वो डेटा ले भी ले तो क्या ही जाएगा, वो तो पब्लिकली जाना ही है. तो that kind of maturity you should have.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Notion is best for portfolio building if you're getting started. So that is one of the project which I would like to do. अरे वाह त्रिषित, तेरा बैकग्राउंड सही है ना. मुझे अपने बैकग्राउंड का जो इमेज है ना उसको मिरर करना पड़ा था, तब जाके ये सही हुआ था.
Hey, I had one question. So, like,
Yup.
can you recommend an app for personal note taking? Something like, is there an app that you use?
Yes. So if you are a librarian kind of personality, right? If you resonate with those personality, right? Then go with like it does not depend on the tool. Basically, it depends on your commitment to use that tool. So if you are committed, you will take notes with notepad also. But if you like, if you're like, if like every tool provides the basic facilities which is required for note taking, but I would recommend OneNote. There are two reasons to it. One, it syncs all across the devices. Microsoft में, mobile में, like if you are using Windows, Apple में भी होगा. So it syncs all across the devices. एक. Second benefit of OneNote is it is free. It is free, no catch. Completely free. तुमको जितना यूज करना है, जितना डेटा डालना है डालो. There is no upper limit to it. If you use Evernote, there is an upper limit to it. If you like, there are some feature limitations to it. If you use Notion, there are some feature limitations to it. अरे यार ये 40 मिनट बंद हो जाएगा, ये ठीक है 10 मिनट में एंड कर देंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. श्योर. सो ये माइंडसेट रखना है कि जो फ्री दे रहा है ना, 40 मिनट अगर जूम दे रहा है फ्री, तो 40 मिनट में ही अपना काम कर दो. सो नोशन जो फ्री दे रहा है उतने में अपना काम हो जाएगा. एंड नोशन पहले क्या था, आज से 1 साल पहले नोशन यूज्ड टू हैव 100,000 ब्लॉक्स लिमिट फॉर फ्री अकाउंट. अब वो लिमिट भी हटा दिया उन्होंने. सो इट इज परफेक्ट टूल फॉर ऐसे जो फ्री में जो यूज करना चाहते हैं उनके लिए परफेक्ट है. सो आई यूज नोशन फॉर टास्क मैनेजमेंट which are not very personal to me. Second, I will be using Notion for portfolio sharing. These are the two use cases which I find Notion best for. For note taking, I'm a gardener kind of personality, so I'm using Obsidian. It's an open source software. I'll take Masterclass on that also, don't worry, it will be coming soon. And for like for specifically like Pelu Club को डिजाइन करने के लिए आई एम यूजिंग ClickUp, क्योंकि उसमें काफी एडवांस फीचर्स है. लाइक वो नोशन को बहुत ज्यादा लेवल से बीट कर सकता है. So yes, it depends on the use case. Don't get attached to any tool. Like use the tool, like have a mindset that you will use the tool for its best capacities. अगर डिस्कॉर्ड में एक इवेंट्स चैनल का फीचर आ गया, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मैं डिस्कॉर्ड में ही स्विच कर दूंगा. Zoom is perfect for these kind of meeting. I'll not switch from Zoom, right? But Discord is good for community kind of thing, so I'll use Discord for that. So you have to understand what Notion is best for, right? In the day 2, we'll be covering the use case of Notion. We'll be discussing these things in advanced, and the mindset which you need to have to understand what will work for you and what will not work for you, right?
Right, got it.
Yep, sure. So I think you will be excited about building some cool things with Notion. There are many projects which you can do, and let's see what you build. If there are any other questions, we'll take that up in Discord. या नहीं तो एक नई मीट लिंक बना के शेयर करना पड़ेगा, विच आई एम नॉट प्लानिंग टू डू। ठीक है, थक गया हूँ थोड़ा, तो चलते हैं डिस्कॉर्ड पे बात करते हैं, कंटिन्यू करते हैं। ठीक है, इट विल बी अ लिवली सेशन, डोंट वरी अबाउट, लाइक मैं नहीं कर सकता सीधे से यार, मतलब मैं चिल ही रखूंगा। ठीक है, वो सारी चीजें रहेंगी, डिस्कॉर्ड पे सब बातें करेंगे, एंड इट्स नॉट एन एकेडमिक स्टफ, लाइक लेट्स मेक दिस learning experience a bit more like interest oriented thing, not an academic thing. तो वैसा रखते हैं। ठीक है, अच्छी चीजें बिल्ड करेंगे एंड मजा आएगा इसमें। सो मैं मजे करने के लिए ही कर रहा हूँ ये चीज। ठीक है, तुम अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स में शो कर देना, लाइक प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट रिलेटेड पोर्टफोलियो में नोशन काफी इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है एंड उसमें प्रोजेक्ट्स बन सकते हैं, बट फॉर मी इट्स मोर ऑफ अ फन देन ऑफ करियर काइंड ऑफ थिंग, राइट?